Right, you're determined to keep me up past watershed, aren't you? Fine. The Lost Boys, 1987. Now, this is a film that presents a very specific, very American problem. Vampires on roller skates. Joel Schumacher directed this one, and you can tell because the whole thing looks like a 2-hour music video for the Hairspray Company. It's got that neon-soaked leather jacket, saxophone playing 80s gloss that makes me want to rub my temples and reach for the extra strength paracetamol. But beneath all the mousse and the heavy eyeliner, it's a cracking good yarn about what happens when you move to California and your older brother starts hanging around with a bad crowd. You've got a mother and her 2 lads, Michael and Sam, moving to Santa Carla to live with her eccentric granddad. Now, the town welcome sign has "Murder Capital of the World" scrawled on the back of it. If I saw a sign like that upon entering a coastal town, I wouldn't unpack the car. I'd turn the Cortina right back around and head straight back to Dewsbury. But no, they move into a house full of stuffed birds and taxidermy. The local hangout is the beach boardwalk, packed with punks, bodybuilders, and a bloke playing the saxophone while covered in baby oil. Daft Apert. Any road. I've seen some strange things outside the pubs in Batley, but a shirtless man playing jazz while vibrating in the sea breeze is where I draw the line. That's not a supernatural threat, that's just a nuisance. Michael, the older lad, gets infatuated with a lass named Star. Jesus Carumbers, what a beauty, any road. And he ends up joining a motorcycle gang led by David, played by Keith Sutherland, with a bleach blonde mullet that looks like it should have its own council tax band. Any road. David takes Michael back to the cave, an old sunken luxury hotel, because of course it is, and tricks him into drinking blood out of a fancy bottle. He then tells him he's eating Chinese takeaway noodles, and Michael scoffs it down. But it's not, is it? You're eating worms, is what you're doing there, Michael, you daft apert. If a bloke with a mullet hangs you a suspicious steaming container in a dark cave and says, eat it, you don't ask if it's chow mein, you tell him you're allergic to MSG, and you walk out. Because he drinks it, Michael starts floating around his bedroom and developing an aversion to garlic. Standard teenage behaviour. Really, but with teeth. The only people with any sense in the entire state of California are the Frog Brothers, Edgar and Alan. They run a comic book shop, but their actual trade is amateur vampire hunting. They're about 12 years old, wearing camouflage headbands, and they take themselves deadly seriously. If David and his leather-jacketed brigade tried to take over a seaside town in north of England, say Whitby or Scarborough, the film would be over in minutes. They'd try to rev the motorbikes on the pier to look intimidating. Within 30 seconds, a retired fisherman would shout, "Turn that bloody racket off, some of us are trying to sleep," and threaten him with a walking stick. They'd try to sleep all day in a cave. In Yorkshire, the damp in that cave would give them enough sciatica they wouldn't be able to fly out the window at night. Never mind hunt for victims. They'd be sat by a storage heater with a hot water bottle complaining about their lower back. The grandad at the end of the film, who saves the day by driving a wooden fence post through the lead vampire's chest and then just casually says, "One thing about living in Santa Carla, I could never stomach all the damn vampires." That man is a spiritual Yorkshireman. Total indifference to cosmic horror. He's more bothered about his taxidermy. Any road. 4 stars. Glossy. Glory. It takes 1 star from the sheer amount of neon and that dreadful theme song, "Cry Little Sister." It sounds like a choir of teenagers who've dropped their pocket money down a drain. But as a vampire movie, it's brilliant. It understands that vampires aren't romantic poets. They're just local thugs who don't want to get a proper job.